Happy halfway to Halloween, everybody. This is me, Pop-Culture Junkie, here for the announcement of the winner for the second annual Halloween Junkie Contest. That's right. If you've been a subscriber for a long time, you know we did a Halloween Junkie Contest last year in October, and, well, we're doing it again this year. I announced a few weeks back on a previous unboxing where we unboxed some Halloween Nightmare Before Christmas mystery minis, and I announced that we were going to be doing a second annual Halloween Junkie Contest. Got a lot of entries, got a lot of people replying and excited and happy about that, and I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate the people that have sent in their entries for the contest. Now, how did you enter the contest, okay? Because we're going to get into that a little bit here. What was the protocol? Well, you had to find my posting either on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I gave you all three options. And what you did was make a comment on either my Facebook page, send me a tweet using the hashtag Halloween Junkie Contest, HJC2, or you can also do it on Instagram. You could just find the posting and post your comment there. So once you enter that, once you found that post, you would post a comment saying, one, where you are from, so I know what city or state, if you want to mention either one. Then you had to enter in, I asked you all a question. I asked everybody a question. What is your favorite show or movie to watch during the Halloween season or October? It doesn't have to necessarily be because you do or don't celebrate Halloween, but just you had to give me something you like to watch during the month of October, whether you celebrate Halloween or not. And then finally, because I've been getting so many people sending me questions, either through comments or tweets or anything else, I decided, you know what, if anyone out there really wants to know anything about me that I don't already blab about on my videos, go ahead and answer and send me a question, and I will answer it. So I decided, okay, put in for your entry one question that you want to ask me. It could be anything, okay? And I'm going to try to answer all the questions as best as possible. And now I'm going to provide you with the answer, okay? And then, finally, we're going to do a raffle drawing for everyone that entered into the contest by sending me in their post or their comment. They are going to be drawn out of the Magic Trick-or-Treat Simpsons Cup here, okay? I've got everyone's entries in here. I've got a whole bunch of little sheets of paper, all wadded up, and we're going to find one name out of here. We're just going to pick it out, and that's going to be the winner. So that's going to be in a moment. Let's go ahead and we're going to start off with, first we're going to go to the entries. We have Jessica Hockenberry from Colorado. Okay, please forgive me, everyone, if I say your name incorrect. I don't mean to, okay? But Jessica Hockenberry from Colorado. You put that your favorite show / movie is Rocky Horror Picture Show. I totally agree. I love that movie. It is awesome. You put, for your question, you asked me, what is my favorite movie of all time? That is very difficult because I am a movie fanatic, and I watch a lot of movies, and I watch a lot of movies over and over. I just have the addiction to movies. So anyways, if I had to pick one movie, though, right now, off the top of my head, that I would say is a favorite movie of mine of all time that I can put in on video or play it on my phone or anytime anywhere, and no matter what, I'm going to watch it and get a laugh, would be Clerks. Okay, Clerks by Kevin Smith. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's not one for children, though. I don't recommend children watching it, but it definitely is something for anybody who enjoys I'll put it this way: if you've ever worked a job in retail, which I have done, that movie will make you feel like you're not the only one out there that goes through a lot of things that other associates and clerks and CSRs have to do. Okay, so I definitely recommend that movie if you haven't seen it. But again, it is not made for children. A lot of colorful language. Okay. Let's see. Our next entry was we got Carrie Lynn from Indiana, and Carrie said that her favorite movie / show would be Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice. Two awesome movies right there. And her question for me was, what is your favorite subscription out of all the ones that you get? Well, obviously, if you've seen my channel, if you've been a subscriber, you know I get a lot of different boxes. I would say my favorite, based on the fact that I continue to get this same box every month. I've been consistent with this one. I have to lean towards Geek Fuel, okay? It sounds crazy because Geek Fuel is not necessarily just one kind of thing. It's not like it's, you know, wrestling or it's video games or anything like that. But Geek Fuel has always been a really great box. They've always got a wide variety of items, and I like them. So I have to say Geek Fuel is probably my favorite. All right, we got Juan Gomez from Santa Barbara, California. And he has put that his favorite movie / show is American Horror Story and Walking Dead. So definitely some cool TV shows there. American Horror Story, yes, I have watched some of that, and that is really good. Sad to say, I still have not started The Walking Dead. I know, right? People are like, what? Yeah, I have not started The Walking Dead yet. I need to. I have the first season on video, or DVD, I should say. Still haven't started it, but American Horror Story, yes, very good. Okay, his question for me is, what is your favorite subscription box? Well, again, I got to say Geek Fuel. Again, really great box. If you haven't gotten one yet, I do recommend. They've got a horror item coming in this month's box, so that'll be really cool to see. Kelly Weir from Mobile, Alabama. All right. I can't help it. Every time I hear Mobile, Alabama, I don't know if anyone out there watched this movie. Remember Maverick with Mel Gibson back in like 94, I think it was? And every time he talks to Jodie Foster, he's like, where are you from? I'm from Mobile. Mobile. He's like, Mobile, Alabama. You know, I love that line. All right, let's see. Kelly, what do you like? You like, your favorite show movie would be It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Oh, come on, that's a classic. Of course. Who can't, you can't get through Halloween without checking out, you know, hello, you got to see The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Awesome. Let's see. Kelly asks, what is your favorite hobby not having to do with unboxings or wrestling? Interesting question. My own wife was curious to have that answered. Let's see. Honestly, I gotta say, besides wrestling, which is something I grew up with, and I've been watching wrestling for over 30 years, honestly, I would say some things I enjoy besides wrestling and doing these unboxing videos with everyone watching and enjoying the unboxings with me. Some of my hobbies include I enjoy collecting items from my childhood. I know that kind of relates a little bit to the boxes, because some of these boxes we get items that are not just current stuff, it's also retro stuff, things you maybe get from your childhood that you couldn't get. But I enjoy picking a lot. I know it's not the same as some people say, like picking antiques. Hey, these are antiques to me. These are my kind of things I like to pick. But I enjoy going to like flea markets. I like to go to resale shops. I like to check them out, and just I enjoy, honestly, just getting to look at stuff. I don't buy everything I want because nobody can afford that, but I do enjoy getting to at least see, maybe even hold something and be like, wow, you know what? Like, example, I'd say, oh, wow, look at this. I'm holding a toy from 1985, something I always wanted when I was a little kid, but oh, well, couldn't afford it. But at least I get to hold it right now, okay? Can't buy it right now, but at least I got to see it or hold it. I enjoy that kind of thing. Definitely get to a thrill out of going with my wife, because my wife likes to see me geek out, and that's something that I just love. That brightens my day up every time. She just gets a thrill out of seeing me turn into a little kid or a big kid, whatever you want to call it. So something like that. But other things I enjoy, of course, besides that, as far as a hobby, would actually be playing video games when I can get a chance. And then finally, I like to travel when I can. Whenever we get a chance, my wife and I love to travel, try different cities, or states or whatever, and get out and see the world. Definitely another fun hobby of mine. So great question there, Kelly. Let's see, we're moving on. We got Chris Liles from Long Island, New York. His favorite movie / show is classic black and white horror films like Dracula, White Zombie. Awesome, yes. Chris asks, what is the scariest movie you have ever watched? You know, I grew up watching the horror films of the 80s and 90s with like Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason, you know, Friday the 13th, whatnot, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever. And those were jump scare and scary movies and such, but I don't think any movie actually affected me like to where I was scared. And I wouldn't even watch it while I was watching it. I was more traumatized watching it, and then afterwards I was more scared. And it's a very low-budget indie film, or I guess you could call it indie film, and not a lot of people heard of it. It's now kind of become a cult classic, but it's called Cannibal Holocaust. And if you have a weak stomach, I don't recommend watching it. I went to a midnight showing of it about 12, 13 years ago with a couple of friends. They were screening it at a local theater, independent theater here in town, and had no idea what the movie was going to be about. The title sounded kind of crazy, of course, Cannibal Holocaust. And I won't spoil anything. I'm not going to spoil any parts. I don't want to get too graphic on this video about the movie and the details of it, but I'll just put it this way. The movie is very graphic, and a lot of things were done in the film that made people wonder if they really did these things or if they were done with props. There's a lot of things that were questionable, had a lot of controversy when it was made, and I'll just leave it at that. But that movie, I watched it. We got out of the theater. As soon as we left the theater, I was shaking a little bit because I could not believe how crazy this film was and what all we had just witnessed. So that was one definitely that stuck with me for a little bit. Let's see, what's moving on? We've got La Di Da from Southern Arizona. Excellent. We got her favorite show/movie is Hocus Pocus. Excellent. That's a really funny one. What was your favorite Halloween costume growing up? You know, I loved to dress up when I was a kid, and we didn't always have all the money in the world to be able to do the greatest costumes and such, but we did everything we could to make sure we always had some cool costumes. And I don't remember every year what I was for Halloween, but the few that stick out was, I remember when I was about, I want to say maybe 5 years old, I was He-Man. And this is back in the day when you didn't have the costumes you have today. You had a smock that was tied around your waist with like an apron almost. And then you had the mask that would be tied around the back of your head. Very hard to breathe. And the only thing was you just had the eyes cut out so you could see through there. But it was almost like you were wearing just like a paper bag wrapped up against your body. It wasn't made out of anything really durable, tough. But I remember that. I remember about 7, I believe, I was a pirate, and I actually had like the white shirt. Almost looked kind of like the guy from Little Mermaid. I don't remember the character's name, but I looked like him, but I also had like the bandana, and I think I had a hook and a sword. And then I remember I was like 9 years old. We really couldn't afford this, but I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle. Maybe 10 years old actually, but I remember I wanted to be a teenage mutant ninja turtle, and my mom actually she's very talented. She's always been very talented with sewing and crafting, and she made me out of fabric and cotton a turtle shell to wear on my back. And then we managed to find the only close thing to a weapon we could find that we could afford was a sword. But it was not a katana. It was actually a barbarian sword. So I had the bandana and the turtle shell and everything. I mean, hey, you do what you got to do, right? But yeah, so that's some of my favorite costumes growing up that I can remember. So we got infidelxstrong from Houston, Texas. He says his favorite show/movie is The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Hey man, totally right there with you. I watch Treehouse Horror religiously, whether it's Halloween, whether it's July, it doesn't matter. I watch that stuff all the time. I have the DVDs. Every chance I get, I'll watch I'll own seasons of Simpsons just so I can watch Treehouse of Horror episodes. Honestly, I'd like them to maybe one day put out a whole Blu-ray of just the Treehouse of Horror episodes. That would be fantastic. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. So infidelxstrong asks, what is your current preference, mystery minis or pops? Okay, well, if you've seen my videos, you know I've got both of those things going pretty strong. I would say right now, actually, I've really slowed down on the pops because there's not a whole lot at the moment that I don't have that I'm like craving, that I'm like, I gotta have those. Every so often one more will pop up, or maybe one that I couldn't find a long time ago I'll come across. But really the main thing I've been going after a lot lately has been the mystery minis, because I just think they look so awesome. I just recently unboxed the full case of Horror Classics Series 3. We did an unboxing of some of these a couple weeks ago, and I'm about to unbox these tonight. So definitely the mystery minis. Gotta go with those. Good question. Let's see. Next one is from wakeupbrass from Kansas City. His favorite show movie is 80s movies like Gremlins and Fright Night. Awesome. Love Gremlins. That's a hard one for me, actually, because I look at that as a Christmas and a Halloween movie. This person asks, can you tell me what first pop you ever got was? Actually, I can. My very first pop I ever bought, I was with my wife, and we had just, I think we had just been married a few months, and we went to a local comic shop, and we had seen these things in the stores, and I thought about them for the longest, and I was like, you know what, I really like them, I just can't figure out which one I want to get, and we both ended up getting a pop together. So she purchased a Wonder Woman pop, and I bought a Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the ones based on the original Turtles, not like the new ones or anything like that. So that was my first pop, was a Michelangelo, and then my wife's was Wonder Woman. A 31 Vinny, okay, from San Francisco. We have his or her favorite show during the October is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Nightmare on Elm Street classics. Awesome. The question is, what is something you first started collecting? I actually still have a lot of the things I had whenever I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I asked my mom, please never throw away anything of mine at all. Please never get rid of this. I will store it, keep it somewhere. So I have a lot of my original, you know, like Thundercats, G.I. Joe, He-Man, etc. You know, they're not all in the best shape because these are toys I actually played with. I wasn't collecting them at the time, so they have a lot of love, you know, done to them. But the first thing I would say I actually started collecting would be baseball cards. A few friends that I had at the time when I was probably around, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9. I think about 9 or 10 actually. They were collecting cards. I started to get some myself and just started snowballing from there. And I collected baseball cards pretty strong for about 3-4 years. I just kept getting packs of cards. Whenever I'd buy a comic, I'd also get some cards. So that was my first thing I ever collected. Alright, we've got Wi-Fi Jedi from Santa Barbara, California. He or she put favorite show movie is The Walking Dead. Okay, again, I gotta get on that one, I know. Their question is, how do you feel about your YouTube channel getting so big? Well, thank you for that question. I really appreciate that. And I do appreciate everyone out there helping me get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That was unbelievable, and I'm very happy and grateful. But how do I feel? I feel completely blessed and I'm flattered. I really am. I appreciate the fact that there's so many of you out there that want to see what I do here and enjoy what I present for you guys, entertainment. So I thank y'all for that. I can't say enough. Can't say anything else except I feel blessed. Thank you for asking that. Move on to Sir Skullring from Rhode Island. His favorite show / movie is Nightbreed or Hellraiser. Awesome. I've just been rewatching Hellraiser myself, actually, just this past last week. Yeah. So his question for me is favorite underrated movie and wrestler. That's a little difficult because I gotta say underrated movie is very difficult to answer because my answer will be is like I liked a lot of movies before they became cult classics. So there's a lot of movies out there that were considered like box office failures, and I really liked them actually. And then funny enough, you know, years later they've become cult classics where everyone's like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever, and why did it bomb in theaters? And it's like, because it was already awesome. I don't know why, you know. So movies that I've really liked, I'll give you an example, like, Big Trouble in Little China. Believe it or not, that was not a successful movie. The Burbs, with Tom Hanks, one of his early comedy films. That was awesome. Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was a very big disaster. That movie tanked in theaters. Not until they started doing the midnight screenings did it really take off. Another one that a lot of people forget about, because they gave him so much hate about playing Batman because he was Mr. Mom, is Johnny Dangerously. I don't know if anybody out there watched that movie ever. That's a very underrated film in my opinion. I loved Michael Keaton, Joe Piscopo, Danny DeVito, everybody that's in that film I thought was amazing. Mary Lou Henner, that's just a really great film. And it says underrated wrestler. You know, there's a lot of wrestlers out there that I think have not been given their fair due. You know, there's people that say, oh, okay, Shelton Benjamin, that's one name that comes to mind, who has like unbelievable potential to be the greatest wrestler, greatest, you know, all-around act. I always thought he just needed to work on his promo skills. That's the only thing I ever saw that he needed to work on. I still think one of his greatest matches was that match against Shawn Michaels on Raw. It was unbelievable. I would say somebody like that. I mean, there's people that say John Morrison, another underrated wrestler. But I would say another underrated wrestler that a lot of people would say he's had lots of moments, but I'd say mine would be Goldust, especially ever since he came back just a few years ago when he and Cody and Dusty was still around. They got to wrestle with their father and everything. I think Goldust has just been totally underused, underrated for what he can do. I always thought he could be a world champion. I don't know why he never got the shot, but I always thought he could be a world champion. Real Sergeant Tom from Florida put in that his favorite show / movie is The Walking Dead. Okay. And Beetlejuice. Awesome. Love Beetlejuice. His question is, what is your overall #1 game, and what kind of sub box would you make? Okay, well, first of all, favorite overall game, it's going to be a toss-up between River City Ransom and Maniac Mansion. Those are two of my favorite games of all time on the original Nintendo. I played those like you would not believe. I still have them to this day. I still play them like they're brand new to me. They're just always fun. And to answer your second question, what kind of subscription box would I make? That's very difficult because there's so many types of boxes nowadays. I guess one that I haven't seen necessarily that I think would be interesting, or at least would appeal to me, would be a year-round holiday kind of box. So let's say you want to get a Halloween box in the middle of February. Let's say you want to get a Valentine's box in the middle of October, okay? There should be something like that. Maybe it has stuff in it like decorations or items or trinkets or costumes or anything like that. Maybe something like that. That'd be kind of fun because you never know when you're in the mood for Halloween. Bam, you got a Halloween box right there. I know there's other Halloween subscription type boxes out there, okay, that have the horror themes and whatnot. But it'd be cool to have a variation on a single box. You can just rotate it on. That'd be kind of cool. Misti McClure from wild, wonderful West Virginia. All right. You put that your favorite show / movie is paranormal TV series, specials, and documentaries. Okay, Misty asks, what is your favorite Halloween costume ever? So I mentioned earlier with another entry about the different costumes I had when I was a kid, but I would say honestly my favorite all-time costume would be she's now my wife, but when we were dating, we went to a Halloween party and we dressed up as the Flintstones. I went as Fred and she went as Wilma, and that was that was a funny costume for us to wear together. We never done anything like that before, so that was pretty cool. So I'd say that's a good memory though, because it was back when we were dating and such. Cody Mack from Alabama. All right, got another Alabama entry. We have favorite show / movie is Walking Dead and Arrow. Awesome. Cody asked, what is your favorite genre of movies? And also ask, well, wait, we'll cover the genre first. Favorite genre? Overall, I love all kinds of movies. I watch all types, but I gotta say my favorite genre would be comedy. I've got a lot of comedies on video and DVD and VHS and such, and Blu-ray and whatnot. But yeah, I would definitely say comedy because that's my go-to anytime I need to either have something just playing in the background, like if I'm working on video editing, if I'm doing anything to do with this, if I'm doing things around the house, just cleaning up or whatever. I like to have a comedy in the background because I can drift in and out and just pick up wherever I leave off. So let's see. He also asked, how old are you? I'll put it this way. I am old enough to I'm old enough to drink, but I'm not old enough to file for Social Security. But I've been around a while. All right, let's see. Anthony Matson from Ohio says his favorite show / movie is Friday the 13th Part 3 or Night of the Demons. Well, that's a very specific Friday the 13th, okay? Why that one? I'm curious. And he asks, what is your favorite horror movie? My favorite horror movie, I'd have to say actually two of my favorite ones. I like a lot of different scary movies and horror movies. I don't care how good or crazy some people think they are. I still like them. But I think two of my favorite ones would be Return of the Living Dead. Okay, if you haven't seen that, if you saw Night of the Living Dead, that one's of course the classic, and I love that one. Return of the Living Dead is just insanely awesome 80s horror film. Just watch it with no thought at all. Just watch it, you'll enjoy it. And then another one that's one of my all-time favorites is Devil's Rejects by Rob Zombie. That movie is like a masterpiece to me. Captain Spaulding from Sherry Moon. I mean, just all the people in the show are insane and crazy. Their acting is amazing. The story is awesome. The music in that movie is unbelievable. So I like House of a Thousand Corpses. Of course, Devil's Rejects is supposed to be kind of a sequel because it picks up right at the end of Devil picks up where House leaves off, but Devil's Rejects just completely went a different direction than I expected, and that's what I think what made it even better movie. Samantha S from California, she puts favorite show / movie is Trick or Treat, and she asked, how long have you been collecting for? Well, since we covered that question earlier about when did I first start collecting and whatnot, which was my baseball cards, I would say about 10 years old. But the whole reason behind that was actually like when I was 10 years old, I started collecting baseball cards. I bought one of those collectible guides that tells you about the price value of what your cards are worth, the little Beckett guides. Everyone remembers those. And I went to share that with my mom and walk over to where she was in the house, and I was like, hey, check this out. Wow, look at these old baseball cards, and telling her about, like, wow, look at these old Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle cards. Wow, they're worth so much nowadays. And she dropped the bomb on me saying, well, actually, I had those whenever I was your age. And I was like, really? You had, like, the rookie cards and this and this? She said, absolutely. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Where are they? Well, unfortunately, whenever my mom moved out of the house, her mom threw them in the trash. Because you didn't think back then that these things would be worth anything. None of this stuff, like, you know, right now you would think was going to be worth something later on. So you never know. I just kind of had a quick little heart attack at the age of 10 by that and realized, oh my gosh. And that's when it kind of clicked in my head. Maybe I should hold on to my stuff as much as I can for as long as I can, because it might be worth something even more than what it's worth to me now as a, you know, just a person that enjoys it in their room, whatever stuff. So that's you know, really how I started collecting. Right, and our final entry, we have Joshua Halstead from Battle Creek, Michigan. I'm guessing you hang out with Rob Van Dam a lot, right? Let's see, his favorite show / movie is Pet Sematary. That's an awesome classic one. Joshua's question is, what's your favorite top 5 WCW wrestlers? Interesting question. Okay, WCW top 5 wrestlers. I'm going to go with, in no particular order, because you can't do the order right. There's no way. There's too much talent. I'm going to say, and I'm going to lean as much as I can with WCW talent. Not somebody that was in WWF and came to WCW, because I could easily say Kevin Nash or Razor Ramon or X-Pac or Hogan, Savage. Okay, that's too easy. I'm going to go with, and this is my own choice, I'm going to go with Diamond Dallas Page, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, and Perry Saturn. Those were definitely my top 5 right there. There's other ones I can name, but I'm going to stick with those 5 right there. Okay? Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for your entries. Thank you very much for taking the time to fill out the questionnaire, the little entry part. And I appreciate you sending in your questions that you asked for me. Alright, here's the magic cup. Trick or treat time. And you just heard everyone's entries. You heard everyone's where they're from, their questions, etc. I'm going to shake this up really well, and we're going to pick out one winner. And now this. All right. I'm picking one winner. All right. Everyone do a drum roll on your screens. And our winner is, for the second annual Halloween Junkie Contest, Anthony Matson. Hey, there we go. All right. Congrats, Anthony. Awesome. Anthony Matson. Okay, excellent. So, congrats, Anthony. Everyone else who entered, I appreciate you taking the time to enter. I'm sorry we can only have one winner, but hey, remember, I'm always posting more contests and giveaways, so don't hesitate to keep subscribing, keep checking out the videos, because you'll definitely get a chance to win something sometime, all right? All right, Anthony Matson, you were the lucky winner of the second annual Halloween Junkie Contest. That's right, so you'll be getting a awesome Halloween box that has been created by me, curated by me, of all kinds of fun, awesome items. And as I announced, there will be a Funko Pop inside the box among some other cool things. So hope you enjoy it. Hopefully, if you will and can, whenever you receive your prize, you can also send some pictures out or share an unboxing video of your own, or at the very least take some photos and share it with the rest of the world so we can all, you know, see what you got and hopefully that you enjoyed it. All right, cool. So, everyone, again, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for joining me for another awesome Halloween Junkie Contest. And I definitely will be trying my best to make sure we do it again next year. along with other contests and giveaways that we always do here, as you all know. So, thank you guys, thank you girls, everyone for watching. I appreciate everyone's continued support. I am the Pop Culture Junkie, and I will be doing more and more of these as always.